little bit of hot milk, salt. Of course, that's super important.
Wow, that much salt? That's not seasoning, that is a sodium avalanche.
But for those of you that are not on the diet, you're gonna be just fine. This is a 3-star Michelin potatoes.
Right then, the other day I stumbled upon this video on Facebook of a chef called Jean-Pierre who was making the most elegant velvety mashed potatoes I have ever seen. And aside from the potentially ungodly amount of butter and salt that we have just witnessed in there, and it gets worse, there are some quite cool techniques in there. Okay, he uses a potato ricer, that's not exactly groundbreaking, but he does use his like cake tin sieve thing with a dough scraper to make it super, super velvety. And then there's butter. So hopefully you can tell I'm quite excited to try this. And even the name alone, Chef Jean-Pierre, that just oozes trust and Michelin-ness. Actually, a top chef did once tell me that if you want to make your food taste nice, just plonk a load of butter in. So, I mean, it sounds like not the worst idea. And yes, the comments were gold. Even one of the top ones did agree with me. That's not mashed potatoes, that's mashed butter. How can I make a mashed potato video exciting? I mean, mashed potato isn't the most presentable looking thing, although at the end his does look actually awesome. But how can I make my version more exciting? I know I can take you shopping with me. This is how I got the ingredients. I went to a shop. Join me on a very exciting morning shop to get my ingredients for mashed potato. Yay! Must not get distracted, must not get distracted. The heck is that? Maris Piper's, I think. This is the butter aisle. Well, we come here often. Oh, look at this big old slab. Oh, that's massive. That is absolutely massive. Let's get the whole fat milk, get the cheeky stuff. Yeah, that'll do. I'm gonna say it's actually quite a successful shop. Let's get home and make some mashed potato. So he uses 3 pounds of potatoes and he keeps the skin on, which is roughly 1.4 kilograms.
We'll put them in cold water. We want the water to be nicely salted, okay? Don't be afraid.
Okay, so cold water, that is what I do, but salt, that is a massive amount of salt, and he insists that it will not all penetrate the skin. Like, how much salt is too much? In this case, it generally feels like I'm putting in too little. Yeah, I was always told to do it in cold water as well, because otherwise, oh my God, that's not enough. If you put the potatoes in, sometimes it can cook the outside of the potato too quick. So it's gonna evenly cook the potato. Oh, let's just a bit more. We do know that obviously salt will bring up the boiling temperature of the water, and I guess it's gonna add some flavor. I just feel like we've turned it into an ocean. Oh, go on. Disappointingly in the video, it doesn't say how long to boil the potatoes for. So I think I'll just get a knife, and as long as it goes through and it's softened and not completely fallen apart, which apparently the salt might help with too, like the structure, I don't know, because we kind of need these spuds to be intact for our next step. The potatoes look just kind of happy. I don't know how to explain it. They're just enjoying their time in there. Gotta say though, it's been boiling for around about half an hour now, and they are all softened, even the big one in the middle, and some of the potato skin is starting to come off. I think that's a good sign. So as we've seen, the potatoes weren't peeled, but he now uses a knife to scrape off that skin easily. I've never done this. See, I think it's already started to help me. It's just peeling off naturally. Oh, look how easy that is. I don't even need to use the knife. I do realise I'm getting excited about boiled potatoes here, but isn't that effectively what mash is? That is working fantastic. What a lovely spud. It feels like I'm getting like a closer bond to the potatoes. We're like building up this really nice sort of close relationship of working together. All nice and done. And we've got a big old bowl of peels, which as you know, if you put them in an air fryer, salt and pepper, blooming gorgeous. All right, so next step is the potato ricer. That is a gigantic potato ricer. True story. I don't actually use one normally, as you'll see in a bit, but I borrowed one from my sister. Although the mouth of it is a little smaller, it should rice, baby. So it's basically a massive garlic crusher thing, isn't it, really? Oh, look at you. Now, I would not normally do this, but I understand the benefits of it, of course. Like little potato worms. But that alone is gonna give you like lovely, soft, velvety mash. And Jean-Pierre even says that in the video. He's like, this would be good. But it's going back in the pan that it came from. Oh my gosh.
Avoid putting too much milk, just a little.
Too much milk, don't put too much milk in. Look, and he's putting more salt in. How much salt is that? That was a decent amount. So I'm gonna go with that, okay, which looks about the same. Hey, it's actually really nice and smooth. We've not put the milk in, and he says, without salt, it's not gonna be any good. So now he brings in, and this is really interesting, he brings in hot milk. He's saying definitely do not put cold milk in there. Like, why is that? He's got a cup of milk, he does say that, but he only uses about half of it. So let's do that. Ah! Gonna go slightly modern and warm my milk up in there, and I'm gonna try and find out why. Right, so apparently if you hit your potatoes with cold milk, that can actually seize the starches, which can potentially result in gluey or gummy potatoes. And also, despite the fact that mine is pretty much cold now, it can actually cool the mashed potato prematurely, so we'll avoid that bit. But I like the fact that we are adding milk, because it should add a little bit of moisture and bond it a little bit, surely. But I'll get this back over the heat now. I just wanted to show you this here. Yeah, so he was intending to use up to a cup of milk and then sort of held back. So I can always add more if I want, but this is looking pretty smooth. Let me just warm it through a minute, because it's about to get even weirder. Already, look, you can see how smooth this is. It is definitely not instant mashed potato. Every part of me wants to season it with pepper, but I'm gonna stay true to it. I would be very happy with this. It's turned it into like a nice sort of spread. But now look at this, he dumps it on this, which is effectively a cake tin with a sieve on the bottom of it and a dough scraper. Now, I've actually already got a dough scraper, but I didn't have one of these, and I ordered one online, and it looks like it's about a quarter of the size of his. It could also double up as a tambourine, but pushing the potato through that, I mean, look at that. It's gonna make it exceptionally smooth. That is if it even passes through it. And this could go any way, couldn't it? Right, here we go. So let's just dollop one bit in for now, and then we just pass it around. Ugh. Is any of that going through? Oh my gosh, it is just. Oh, I've got to really press it down. Okay, let me just have a look at that. Oh my word. That is absolutely sensational. I've just only got like teaspoon amounts at a time. Okay, it's gonna take me a long time, but we've got all day. I just think that I might wish that I got myself a slightly bigger one with slightly bigger mesh. I didn't know what dimension sieve to get. I thought one of these was just one of these. Maybe this is genuinely a musical instrument. But we are, with every scrape, pushing it through, folks. Jean-Pierre will be proud. It's just gonna take a very long time. I'll see you in about 8 hours then.
8 minutes later.
You know what, just as a test, I'm gonna try and push it through my normal sieve. Yeah, that is absolutely fine. Okay, I'm gonna mix it up. I'll do a bit of both. I mean, this is absolutely necessary. I'm making mashed potato. This is like, this is so frustrating. It doesn't even smell nice right now. It's just water, potatoes, and salt, isn't it? I love this because he almost gets patronizing. He's like, you're gonna say, is it worth it?
You see, you see.
If you pick that up, he sort of just goes, you'll see. Almost like a James Bond villain of mashed potato. But next comes our final ingredient, of course, the butter. Yes, 340 grams of butter. I do not have a cardiologist, but if I did, they'd probably want to have a word right now. If you're not on a diet, put in 340 grams of butter. And if you're scared by that, he starts saying how a Michelin-star restaurant that he worked in literally did equal parts potatoes to butter. My arteries hurt from just thinking about that, but also that could be fantastic. Now, one thing Jean-Pierre admits is that his butter should have been a little more softened. But again, Mike's just helped me soften that up. And my tripod legs have got remnants of mashed potato all over them. Well, there we are. I've got to be honest, this almost feels like equal parts butter to our lovely mash. Oh my word. I feel like I'm making buttercream. It smells incredible though. It smells so buttery. Oh, goodness me. It doesn't even look like mash. But it does feel like there's something missing. Isn't that right, Jean-Pierre?
It's amazing what a few grains of salt will do.
A few grains of salt. Okay, granted that was a little amount, but this is potentially going to taste like the Dead Sea.
Yeah, all it takes is just a few grains of salt sometimes.
Getting that salt in there. Oh my gosh, is that too much? I can hear Jean-Pierre in my ear going, no. Let's stir this through. Oh my word. That is incredibly liquidy and velvety. Fantastic. And I can't see, I was expecting maybe a few little specks of potato, like sometimes the eyes, or sometimes you get like little bruised bits in a potato. I can't see any. It's so smooth. Okay, so he did have like a flan dish, but I can't seem to find mine, so we've got a pie dish. What he does, he gets it down like this and smooths it out a little bit. And then I think he makes indents, and I can't tell if he's doing this at an angle. He sort of goes like this. I actually quite like it like this. It's giving me like meringue vibes. But I think his was probably more chilled, so I think we'll maybe leave it at that. So I will just give this a chill in the fridge just to see if that helps with that, whilst I show you how I make mash normally. Just so we can compare them, I've got the same potatoes. So I'm gonna peel these, chop them up to make sure that they're roughly the same size and that they kind of cook quicker. Cold water, salted, but not that much really. I've seen a lot of potatoes today. So once done, I'll drain them off. I normally add milk almost straight away, just to help it kind of like, well, break down easier. And then I just kind of play it by eye. So I would put some butter in, maybe like, a couple of tablespoons. Does feel a bit lonely though. And yeah, I would put in some salt and some pepper. I guess it's kind of like a weird thing because I just kind of keep going until I'm happy with the texture. But as you can see, I mean, it does get it smooth. You just kind of get these like lumps on it. I don't know, for me as a kid, that kind of triggers memories of like watching TV, coming home from school, having a midweek mashed potato with sausages and peas. Like, that for me is absolutely fine. But how will it compare to our Michelin star one? Do you want peas or beans? And hurry up, because you got netball at 5. That sort of thing, that's what happens in our house. But actually, the colours are kind of similar. And, bizarrely, it's got exactly the same ingredients, well, apart from the pepper. Okie doke, let's find out if this was worth the time, the effort, the price, the salt, the butter versus Barry's midweek mash special. And I've even brought my MSG along to maybe plot twist. I'm gonna start with my mash. Very mellow, a little stodgy, not bland. You can taste the buttery milk flavours within it, and a little speck of pepper. Nothing wrong with that. So is this Michelin star mashed potato or mashed butter? It's almost got the texture of butter on the spoon as I got it on there then. Smells of nothing. Whoa. Whoa. Honestly, my immediate reaction is actually somewhere between mashed potato and mashed butter. It kind of tastes like a potato cake. I know they already exist, but actually a potato cake. The salt is actually okay in it. I just think there's slightly too much butter in it. It feels like I'm literally eating cake batter out of a bowl. It does work well though. I'm getting used to that butteriness now. It's actually quite divine, but probably illegal in a few countries. Oh. And of course, when you go to Michelin star restaurants, you'd probably have that as your portion on a plate anyway, so you wouldn't want much of it. The creaminess is massively intense. It's like a mashed potato that I would never normally have. That, for me, as bodged and rushed as it is mash, but I kind of like it. It feels like about 100 calories in every bite, and I can't believe with the amount of salt we put in there and the butter, you're getting those flavours, but it's actually quite balanced. I think next time, I mean, I'm saying that as if there's going to be a next time, I'd probably put in slightly less salt, just a speck. Maybe about 3 tablespoons left, not too much. It's probably the most dominant flavour. Aha. Little bit of MSG. Ah. That just feels so nice and calm now compared to that. It's elevated the flavours slightly, of course, if you want. I did a video recently where I used cream for your mash, if you want to do that. And a little bit of MSG in this pocket here. Ooh. Oh, that is cheeky. That's brought everything up. And in fact, in a weird way, that has heightened the taste of the salt. It's like, I feel like I've just eaten a stock cube. Oh, gosh. Guys, you know me, I've got no desires to ever be a chef. I'm just a home cook that's learning and laughing about food, and I hope you guys have found this interesting. That, for me, is really, really good. If I went to a Michelin star restaurant, I would expect something like that. But there's something for me. Oh, it's quite bland going back. They both work in their own worlds. If you want that midweek simplicity rush, and of course you can enhance that. And the MSG really has. It will get you by. But if you want an adventure where it's creamy and smooth, it's like velvet and silk. It's so pure. There are no lumps in that whatsoever. Like, I was thinking I might have to pipe it because you genuinely could, but that was how it was sort of served. In summary though, if I could get a larger, slightly wider sieve and I had the time, I would definitely do this approach. Maybe slightly less butter, probably. I think making that with half the butter might bring it more in line with this. This will get you by, but that genuinely, Jean-Pierre, that recipe, mate, that's très bien. But I'm always interested to know what you think, so let me know down below whether you're team midweek mash or Michelin mash, and I will see you next time. Ciao for now. Alright, thanks to the names on the screen right now for supporting the running costs of the channel on Patreon. For some exclusive bonus perks in return, just put some pepper on it. That works a charm, although my inner 10-year-old just wants to splodge ketchup all over it. See you next time.